Okay, it shows as we're live. Can you hear
Yeah,
me?
we can hear you.
Okay, great. Let me now plug in my microphone. Now can you hear me with the microphone? It literally fell out right when we went live.
Yeah, we can
Yes.
hear you.
Very good. Welcome back. I'm so excited to be live and hanging out with my community on YouTube. Bring the questions. So, how to submit your questions in these weekly live Q&As, just put a capital Q in the chat in the comment section. And then we're literally going to answer as many questions as we can tonight from first to last. So, do you see any questions coming in, Todd?
Not yet. Put a queue in front of your questions, please, and then we'll put you guys in the queue, and we will take them in order as they come in. And chats do cut the line, so but we might have to. There we go.
There we go. Lisa, congratulations on being first. Hello, carnivore for 2 years to help with brain tumor that is inoperable. I just turned 40 and I'm now gaining weight with high fat. That's what has kept me going. Should I bring down the fat? I'd love to take this. Lisa, your healing is top priority. I think you already know that you need to focus on healing and making sure that your brain tumor is on the right path to heal, basically. And high fat carnivore diet is what all of the carnivore doctors recommend. Okay. It's what I have been living. It's what Dr. Chafee recommends. It's what Dr. Elizabeth Bright recommends. So if you're looking for more knowledge on high fat and just how healing it is, I do recommend checking out Dr. Anthony Chafee and Dr. Elizabeth Bright. Coach Alyssa, any thoughts on this?
Um, yeah, so carnivore 2 years to help with brain tumor that's inoperable. Yeah, I definitely have seen a lot of the experts in this, like Thomas Seyfried, talk about how obviously carnivore or even just low carb is going to be so good at shrinking tumors and preventing them from growing. So I don't see how bringing down the fat would benefit anything because typically they're saying, if anything, lower the protein um, because of the glutamine. So, part of Thomas Seyfried's press pulse therapy is restricting the glutamine. So that would be restricting the protein and going higher fat. So I would definitely encourage you to keep going high fat.
For sure. My mom's got a brain tumor. She's had it for about 15 years, or at least they found it 15 years ago. No telling how long she's had it. But, anyways, on when we started with keto and then carnivore, it shrank about down to about a third of its size over a period of about, I guess, the last 7 years. And she's not even super strict. She goes on and off, but it appears to be that as her inflammation goes down, that brain tumor shrinks. And so seems to be, I don't know, that was my theory on it was that a lot of that a lot of that's feeding that thing seems to be whatever causes inflammation, the carbs and the nonsense. So I don't know, for whatever that's worth. It's not a cancerous one, but they just keep watching it because they, if it kept growing, it was going to create pressure and cause problems. But it seems to be in a good spot now.
Wow, that's powerful. And Laura, what are your thoughts on her? Specifically, I want you to touch on her saying that now she's gaining weight with a high fat carnivore diet. What are your thoughts?
My focus too would be on whatever's going to shrink that tumor the most. And I wouldn't worry about gaining weight with the high fat. I believe too, as Bella and Alyssa and Todd have all said, and that the other carnivore doctors recommend, you want to starve off that tumor, you want to starve off that cancer. I'd
Yes.
go higher fat and not worry about that weight gain. It'll all work out.
For sure.
Thank you, team.
Alrighty.
All right. Okay, Jane, welcome. Jane says, my nails have developed lines in them. Just wondering if I'm deficient in a mineral. Thank you. Last time I heard Rebecca Heischman in the Steak and Butter Gang, she touched on this. Didn't she say it was iron deficiency? Yeah, iron or zinc.
Well, And it could be a number of things. It could even just be protein deficiency. But I want
Mm.
everybody to keep in mind there's a common misconception that, a lot of people they get really excited because they're like, "Oh, my nails are so strong and I've only been on carnivore for, a few months." And it's like, well, I mean, like let's say they came from keto to carnivore and then to lion and they're thinking that because of lion that's why their nails are strong now, but it takes about 6 months to a year for your nails to actually grow out. So the tips of your nails right now are a sign of what happened 6 to 12 months ago. So, if you have lines in your nails, sometimes that could just show the changes that you've made in your diet, and you can watch those lines they should grow out. And as you're eating more protein and getting more minerals, definitely you'll see your nails continue to get stronger and stronger, but you may not reap those benefits for another 6 to 12 months.
I'd agree with that.
Amazing. Thank you. Yeah, very good. All right, Chris, welcome. Hi, everyone. I'm curious why some carnivores state they have weight stalls when eating cheese. Is it because of the calories or something else? Thanks. Who here eats cheese on a carnivore diet? Raise your hand.
I eat a little bit.
Eat a little bit. I eat it every day. I think it's so different for each carnivore, though, because I can eat it every day and I can be at a spot. But remember, I'm almost 7 years carnivore. Okay. I'm in a spot where I'm trying to just get stronger with my health goals, specifically working out more, and focusing on movement for the first time in a very long time throughout my healing journey. So I'm doing something different for my own personal journey, and the cheese has been helping me support my goals. And I only eat raw dairy. Okay. So some of you guys are new here. You don't know what is raw dairy versus regular dairy. If you go to Whole Foods or if you go to Costco, most of the butter and the cheese and the milk and the yogurt and the sour cream and the cottage cheese, that's all pasteurized. None of that is raw, unless it's specifically stated on the packaging that it's raw, unpasteurized. There's a big difference between raw dairy and pasteurized dairy. One digests really well, one is more nutrient dense, and the other one, I feel like, is a waste of calories. That's my thoughts. What about you, Laura?
Well, I tend to use cheese, as Raymond said when I first started in SBG, as a condiment. I don't sit there and eat blocks of cheese. And I know a lot of people who get started in keto have a tendency of really focusing on cheese because they're trying to replace the other snacky things that they're no longer eating. Um, I do know a lot of people that do have issues when they overdo the dairy. So it's just always been something I don't mind a little up slice on a burger melted or a little blue cheese crumbled on my steak, but I don't make it a major food group. And I don't think people should because it does tend to stall a lot of people. And when they get rid of the cheese, they do see better results. So it can be problematic. I try to find raw, and I do have one or two favorites that I can find in the area that are raw, but I don't really focus on that. But again, I only use it in small quantities here and there. I don't make it a major food source. So hopefully that
Oh,
helps.
there we go. I think we lost Bella for a second.
Oh, oh, she's
Oh,
out.
sorry.
There we go.
Let's keep going.
There we go.
Okay. Hi, Evelyn. Will it heal? I'm guessing she's saying, will carnivore heal neuropathy and Sjogren's symptom? Sjogren's is the eye condition, right? Dryness.
I don't I don't
I'm not
know.
positive on that.
Let's
Alyssa,
do a quick.
you know,
I can
Sjogren. I
I
know
can
we've
tell you
heard it. Oh, he's going to
I,
chat GPT it right now.
yeah, Bella's doing it.
Okay.
I was just saying I know that it
Mhm.
heals neuropathy. I've had a lot of neuropathy heal, but I don't know what it
Yeah,
is.
I thought it was with the hands, like when your hands kind of start to,
So this is what it says. Chronic autoimmune disorder that affects the moisture producing glands. So this can affect dry eyes, dry mouth, skin,
Oh,
joint, a lot of different things actually. So
Hmm.
um Evelyn, what exactly are the symptoms you're dealing with for your Sjogren's? Do let us know. Very curious. And then Todd, talk a little bit more about the neuropathy, please.
Yeah, I had quite a bit of neuropathy, especially in my lower legs and feet from pretty bad lymphedema and swelling and lack of circulation and those things, and it caused some pretty nasty neuropathy, and that has healed 99% now, and to where I couldn't even move my toes for a long time, and I'm able, got all the function back and everything's working. And that took a long time. It's a little bit slow moving, but that I was really surprised that starting at 6 months, I started feeling those nerves firing again. And then it's been almost 3 years now, and I almost have all the function back. So I'm pretty happy about that. So for whatever that's worth, for sure, it healed up those nerves and got better circulation and flow to those. So
And I know Dr. Lisa Wiedemann, the carnivore eye doctor, she has said that definitely carnivore helps with dry eye. So I think it kind of feeds into that as well, that yes, it would probably be quite beneficial.
mm,
Yeah, and with Sjogren's being an autoimmune disease, like we know that carnivore helps with all the autoimmune conditions. And there's, lab work for plenty of people, and my own story as well, just autoimmune markers improving just from going carnivore. So I would say it's definitely worth the try, Evelyn, and you may be surprised at how quickly you start to see healing.
Yeah, I wonder if Evelyn is maybe new to the carnivore corner of the internet or on YouTube. I just want you to know if any of you guys are watching and you're new to carnivore, thousands of people are healing insane things every single day as we speak. And
mm,
us four, we're lucky to actually witness it with our own eyes because we're very active in this community on YouTube. I'm active on Instagram, I'm active on TikTok, but most importantly, we're active in the Steak and Butter Gang. And what that means is we work with real people wanting to heal things like neuropathy and Sjogren's, and we have actual doctors and coaches guiding all the members there. So I just want to give you guys hope. If this is the tip of the iceberg for you all, thousands of people are healing things that you cannot even imagine with a carnivore diet. I am biased. I think a high fat carnivore diet is absolutely crucial, especially if you're trying to heal. But you do you and just keep learning. Okay? Keep coming back. Ask the questions. Let's keep going. Welcome, Jal. How does one eat cheap on this diet? Let's all give our best tips, starting with Todd.
well, right now I'm pretty addicted to lamb breast, and that's like under $4 a pound, and so I can't even tell you how cheap that is, especially where I'm at. I mean, that's crazy, especially how fatty it is for high fat carnivore. That stuff is super satiating. I can't hardly force myself to eat enough of it because it just shuts down the hunger. And then there's hamburger, there's all the other cuts of lamb, and but in the big picture, I don't even care if you're eating ribeye every day. It's long run is so much cheaper by the time you eat that ribeye and you stop the snacking and you stop drinking $5 coffees and $4 energy drinks and, bags of chips and, candy. And when you're on that insulin roller coaster, you're eating a million times a day to keep getting this little shot of energy and this little brain fix. And it all adds up. And we don't see it because we don't sit down and eat it in one meal. But even if you're eating a $30 ribeye once a day versus all that nonsense, between what you're going to save, not snacking and not eating all that crap. The days that I'm no longer sick and go to work, and the more productivity that I put out, and the medicine that I don't take, the $700 a month in prescription medication I no longer take, it saved all the stupid supplements that I used to take that I thought I needed to try to heal things. In the long run, I spend about half that food makes me spend about half the money a month that I used to spend. And that's eating, even when I'm eating ribeyes every day.
Agreed.
I love that. How about you, Alyssa?
Yeah, I agree with what Todd said, just as far as like it ends up being cheaper when you're on carnivore. Like I used to buy so many vegetables just to get through my day. I had to eat like every hour or 2 or 3. If I got to hour 4, I was feeling faint because I had to eat constantly to stay alive with all those plants. And the amount of money I was spending on fruits and veggies and bags of these healthy chips and coffee and everything, now I'm just buying meat, and it is so much cheaper. Not to mention the doctor's bills, and that I'm not spending money on, all the prescriptions. So that's how to eat cheap on this diet. Buy the cheapest meat and you'll still be winning.
For sure.
Absolutely.
How about you? Oh, let's
Oh,
do Laura's tips.
I'm sorry, what?
How do you keep a carnivore diet budget friendly, Laura?
Oh, I pretty much have found the same thing as Alyssa and Todd. It's number one, animal products are satiating, animal fats are satiating. So you're not eating as much to begin with. And all of this, I used to buy vegetables and fruits and think when I stop and think about how much of that stuff would go bad before I ever used it, and it was in the garbage. So you're spending money on things that are going bad, especially, I don't know, salads in the days of salads. And you'd buy these bags of salad greens and you'd think, okay, I'm good for a week. And you'd be throwing it away in 3 days or trying to eat mass amounts of it because you could see it was already going bad. So, and then, I'd buy fruit because fruit is healthy, but how much of that can you really eat? So I would end up throwing away so much. Now, nothing gets thrown away. It gets eaten. And it's in the freezer safely until I can eat it if I get backed up, and you don't have to worry about, oh, you do something else for 2 days and now you're going to throw away all of these greens that you bought because they've gone bad already. So honestly, I believe it is so much cheaper, and I can give you a little example with my daughter and her husband eat animal based pretty much. My daughter's almost full carnivore now, her husband not so much, but more animal based, and she was really concerned about this in the beginning, but I kept telling her, honey, you're going to actually end up spending so much less money on food. And she has agreed that their grocery bills are so much better, and that everything they buy they eat and nothing goes to waste. So it does work.
Nice. That's awesome. For me, butter, eggs, ground beef, and fat, like animal fat. So a lot of people cannot afford really luxurious and high quality protein cuts of meat, like ribeye, like filet mignon. Don't even think about filet. But instead, if you could just get ground beef or flanken short ribs or fresh pork belly, these are high fat, nutrient dense meats that will help you heal and feel amazing. So focus on the foods that you can afford and just eat as much as you want. That's the best
And
way to start.
and don't forget
Yeah.
about chuck roast, because you can always
Yes.
find chuck on sale, and that goes so far. You make one of those, you're eating that for 3 or 4 days.
Exactly. Love it. Debbie says, concerning 2-to-1 fat to protein, am I understanding correctly that that is grams of actual fat and protein and not by just weighing the fat and protein on a scale? Alyssa?
Mhm. Yes. So when we say 2-to-1 fat to protein ratio, we mean, for example, if you have 100 grams of fat and 50 grams of protein. So not the weight on the scale, but the actual macronutrient grams of fat and protein.
Perfect. Thank you for that. Jade. Hi, friends. Hello, Jade. Can you talk about the best protocol for healing hypothyroidism through carnivore? Yes, I can because I'm learning from the expert herself. So, if you don't know who Dr. Elizabeth Bright is, um, her specialty is actually helping clients heal hypo as well as hyperthyroidism. So, thyroid issues, adrenals, and cortisol issues through a high fat carnivore diet. So I've been hosting her group calls for her Monday, Wednesday, Friday every week for the past 4 weeks. I have learned so much because I'm telling you, every single hour of all 3 of those days, she just gives it her all. Every single tip, every single thing that works for her previous clients, she just shares it all. So, Jade, I actually really recommend that firstly, read her books. Okay. Familiarize yourself with Dr. Bright's approach, which is, again, a very high fat carnivore diet. Okay. And then taking iodine and then really focusing on lowering the stress in your life. I would say those are her top three pillars if I really needed to sum it up. But even better yet, get her books on Amazon. Just search Dr. Elizabeth Bright on Amazon and you'll see three books. Her third one is the newest one, and it's literally about thyroid. So that's the best place to start. Yeah. Marlis, welcome. I've been carnivore for at least 5 years. Wow. Just 2 days ago, I had an attack of gout, not really understanding why and a little afraid now of what to eat. Share your wisdom. Anyone here struggle with gout?
I'll take it. So
So
I almost bet money that that's actually not gout. I bet it that it's
Mhm.
oxalate dumping. And I think they call
Woo.
that pseudo gout. And
Huh.
I would bet money that that's what it is, because the only what I thought was gout too, because I suffered with it for forever. I'd get 7 or so gout attacks on average a year, and carnivore healed it until I started oxalate dumping, and it'll pretend to be gout, but it's not the same thing. And meat does not cause gout. That is completely a myth that red meat causes gout. So don't do anything
Correct.
different on the meat side of thing, but definitely try the oxalate protocol. Have some green tea and see if that relieves some of the symptoms, and then do the the egg cell calcium and the citric acid to try to bind it and get rid of it. And go check out Sally K. Norton's what is it, Toxic Superfoods book. Yeah,
Correct. Yes,
yeah,
definitely. Amazing. Let's keep
yeah. We
going.
got we have a super chat.
Oh, thank you so much, Sunny. So Sunny says, I love carnivore. Yay. I lost 20 pounds in 2 months. Blood tests crashed. Very anemic. 7.2. Sent to hematologist. I was put on iron pills. Why? I've been eating meat, eggs, and fat. Do we all think maybe Sunny's under eating?
Could be.
Could be.
And also, you could also have the MTHFR gene variation. So I would encourage you to maybe give the eggs and everything else a break. Go way up on your red meat, your ruminant meat, and also add in a bit of liver. So I want you to eat 1 to 2 ounces of beef liver per week. And you
Oh,
can break that up into tiny little, chunks that could be like half an ounce, which is a tiny little piece every other day if you want, or a little bit each day, but it has the cofactors to help you, and it's a methylation issue is what it is. If you're eating the food and your body's not converting it, but those iron pills are not heme iron. They are not the form of iron that our bodies need. So sure, your iron blood test might look falsely higher once you retest it after taking the iron pills, but that's just because you're putting iron pills in your blood. So try going higher in your red meat, try the liver, and then retest. And I'm willing to bet you're going to have no issues.
And I can confirm that, because I was eating 7 pounds of meat a day for a long time, and I have low iron. And I took Alyssa's advice. Last blood test I had about 4 months ago, and I started eating liver, and it went up. Mhm.
whoa.
Yep.
Amazing. Look at that.
Work.
So much knowledge. Thank you both. Keep us
All right.
posted, Sunny.
Let me get back up here.
Awesome. Okay, next up we have Linda Lou. Welcome, Linda. I've been carnivore for 2 months. I've been priming, but it seems that I cannot fast and lose weight for many reasons. One being I'm older. Do I continue priming? Plus, I'm unable to get into ketosis, no fake or sugar. Okay,
we're
that's all
sure.
she wrote.
Okay.
Yes. Laura, why don't you take this?
I knew as soon as she said age, I'm older, you're going to pull me up to the top. Okay, Linda, you're healing. Don't worry about the fasting. Um, let's see. I've been priming, but it seems that I can't fast and lose weight for many reasons. One being older, so that's a fallacy. It's not because you're older, because I'm 71, and I maintain. I've lost on carnivore, and I maintain, even when I've been eating other things. So, anyhow, 2 months in, continue priming. If you continue priming for a while, and then give it a try to see, start going down to 2 meals a day and see how you feel and how you do. Ketosis, again, don't worry about that so much right now. Just 2 months in, you've got a lot of time to undo, years of eating the other way. So, give it time. And, hopefully you're in the SBG and you're doing the calendars, so you've got a better idea of what to do and when. But I don't know for sure if that's the case right here.
Beautiful. Warrior of God, welcome. Suggestion for getting back on carnivore. I fell off almost 2 years ago after losing 60 pounds. I need suggestions. I jump off when I stop pooping. Ooh. Okay, do you think you're constipated? Is that why you're freaked out because you're not used to going number two more frequently? Do you feel puffed up? I just want to make sure we're addressing this for everyone, right? A typical trend when going carnivore is you just poop less. You poop less because you're not eating fiber. You're not eating plants anymore. So you just have less waste your body needs to excrete, poop out. So just wrapping your head around that sometimes is a lot. But
Okay.
if you actually feel blocked up, Coach Alyssa, what can we do?
Yeah, if you feel blocked up, one way to resolve that is eat more fat. It is nature's laxative. So even eating, drinking the rendered fat that we tell you, if you're having issues, don't drink it. Well, if you feel like you're not pooping enough, drink the liquid fat. You could also just do a salt flush, that you can look up online, salt flush for constipation. And you just kind of toss back some salt and some water, and next thing you know, you're going. But yeah, Bella is right. Like we absorb about 98% of, and we utilize 98% of what the meat we eat from meat and animal products. So 2% of that is the waste. And now compare that to any plant matter with fiber. Fiber is literally indigestible. Our body cannot use it and it goes straight out. So I would say if you're trying to get back on carnivore, take it one meal at a time. Just ask yourself, could I just eat one carnivore meal per day for the next week and see how it goes? And then
Mm.
maybe the following week you could commit to doing two carnivore meals per day. You guys know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
yeah, just one step at a time.
Anyone else want to chime in on that, on how to best get back on track?
Eat your way back on track is what I
Yeah.
do. Just take it one meal at a time and don't try to restrict. And I would join SBG, to be honest with you, because then you can watch everybody else that's starting out on track and get troubleshooting all the way through and stay focused. So
And that community, that element of community, when you're doing it with other people, even if they're just Zoom friends, that support just helps you get on track and stay on track. And what a great success. You lost 60 pounds doing carnivore. That's freaking amazing. I would keep that in the back of my head too. It's like, I've done this before. I can do this again. And I know I can do it again. As Todd said, join SBG for $30 a month, $1 a day. You've got all these other people that are on the same track that you're on. Plus, you get the carnivore experts that come in every month, the doctors that come and speak every month, the coaches that can help you troubleshoot, open chat. Anytime you need to pop in, there's practically a meeting now every day of the week, for support. And community in this lifestyle is so important. So consider that for sure.
Love it. The community's linked down below, guys. Joe, welcome. Is it okay to intermittent fast and prolong fast? And if so, what is the best way to approach it? I'll just speak for our fasting expert in the team, Coach Raymond Nazon. He truly, truly believes and has seen and worked with too many people to count that if you want to be a faster, if you want to achieve long fasts, and what do we count as an actual fast, guys? Longer than OMAD? OMAD and above?
Really?
yeah, I
Yeah.
mean,
Even
Yeah,
technically, even in with 2 mads, you are fasting a part of the day.
yeah,
So,
yeah. Right. So the pillar on how to succeed on fasting is making sure you're nourished before you even start the fast. For some people, the nourishment period will need weeks. Other people, a few days. Me, when I first started carnivore, 6 months. I want you guys to be aware of this type of dramatic variety of time phrase because everybody's journey is so different that it's just not right for us to be like, okay, just prime for 2 weeks and you can fast all you want. I mean, you see these messages coming in during our Friday night lives. I don't feel ready for the fast yet. I'm still having sugar cravings even after priming. Your body will tell you when it's ready to fast because you're not going to want to eat naturally. You don't have sugar cravings anymore. That's a big marker right there. And Coach Raymond obviously is working hard every single week, making sure everybody's on the right path to their fasting goals and dreams. So Raymond teaches rolling 48s, 72s, 36, alternate day, just such a great variety of fasts so that everyone who walks his program gets a really good taste of all the different types of fasts. And Laura, you've done it, right? You've walked the whole thing.
yes.
What are your thoughts?
Um, Nourishment coming from a nourished state into fasting is definitely the key. I was never able to go even 8 hours fasted, unless I was forced to for medical tests or something. Uh, so I really didn't think I would be successful at fasting, but after being in, SBG little over 3.5 years now, I just naturally, when it's time, my body lets me know now, and I can go into a 5-day, a 6-day fast. Um, I've dry fasted, I've water fasted, and becomes kind of an intuitive thing. I don't do it all the time, but when my body says I'm ready to, I just wake up and it's like, okay, today I don't need to eat and I'm going to fast. And I roll with it to see how long I can go. And, I've had it go 108 hours and without it being an issue. So it's just, but coming from a nourished state, it's a hugely different way of fasting than just going and trying fasting from where most people are in a non-nourished state because they've been living the standard American diet their whole life.
Well said. Thank you, Laura. Ventures, welcome. I wasn't overweight when starting carnivore, but fairly strict carnivore. But I'm losing too much weight, but feel like I am eating plenty. Wow. Every so often, we get questions asking how to stop losing weight or how to start gaining healthy weight. Alyssa, what are your thoughts?
Um, wasn't overweight when starting carnivore, but fairly strict carnivore, losing too much weight, and I feel like I'm eating plenty. Yeah, what is plenty? What's your definition of plenty? I mean, when we're raised in a world that tells you that the meat portion should be this big and the sides should take up most of the plate, it feels like you're
Yeah.
eating plenty when you have that tiny steak and nothing else. So, I would encourage you to maybe even if you have to download an app to track how much protein you're actually getting in a day, or maybe just after you can cook your food, weigh it, ask Google like how much protein is in a, for example, 8-ounce steak, and it'll tell you. And a really good starting point that everybody can just start out at and then tweak later is 1 gram of protein per pound of desired body weight. So if you want to weigh 150 pounds, try to get about 150 grams of protein per day, and check back in with us. I would really like to hear how that goes.
Now I have to know how many grams of protein in a pound of meat, in a pound of beef.
In a
Hmm,
pound, I'm going to say, what would that be? 16 times
maybe
100.
65.
80, 90. Oh, okay.
65.
Six. Mm, I feel like that's
No?
wrong. Nope. I feel like
Okay.
that's wrong.
Yeah,
Okay.
it seems a little low, but I don't know.
Really? Okay, that's why it's 70%. Let's do 95% lean. Ah, 117 grams
Yeah.
in 1 pound of lean ground beef. So you need at least 1.5 pounds right there if you're trying to get 150
Mhm.
grams.
Mm.
Yeah.
So just to give you guys a perspective there.
Yeah,
One and
I
a half.
think it's usually the misconception that think you're eating enough and you're really not is where the problem comes in.
Yeah, the
Yes.
giveaway word in this whole question here is strict. When somebody says I'm being really strict carnivore, but I think I'm eating enough, that always makes me wonder why. Like I guess I would technically be a strict carnivore, but I didn't try to be strict. I just evolved into
Wow.
just eating meat.
Fairly strict. What is
Fairly.
Very,
fairly strict, Lane?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it
We
makes
got
it
some super
interesting.
chats.
Oh,
oh,
yeah,
I
they're
missed
coming
it.
in.
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, Jade, and thank you very much. Oh, is there still a free SBG? What is butter boobs? I'm guessing she means butter boobs. Right? Okay.
Butter
Girls
booze.
own.
It's Halloween, almost Halloween.
Yeah,
Butter
butter
boob.
boobs. Okay, well, firstly, absolutely, there's still a free SPG. Let me pull up the link right now. You get the forums and you can access all of the community members in there. So just give me a second. But Alyssa, if you don't mind taking up on this amazing topic.
Yeah, so butter boobs it's just something that happens when us women start eating more fat. So it could be butter, it could be tallow. We get the same effect, hormonal healing, and we'll just say breast optimization. So we just notice across the board, so many women are seeing growth or perkiness or fullness, and nobody's been mad about it so far.
Right, right. Okay, let me
Absolutely.
also add to that. That's a great definition right there. With the caveat of, but the rest of the body is not gaining weight, which is wild to so
Exactly.
many women. So how are we getting curvy in the spots that we want and in the spots that our husbands love, but in the spots that we don't want to get bloated, thick, and heavy? It's not. So that's just the power of body recomposition. I said this the last time this topic was brought up, but I see a lot of women um, continue their hormone development a little too late, but once they start eating high fat carnivore, it continues to happen, which we see in older women bringing their period back, even though they thought they were in menopause. And we see women who cannot get pregnant time and time and time again, miscarrying over and over, get pregnant and hold that healthy baby in their arms, like Coach Rochelle. And people like me, no period for 2 years, and the period is back. So, of course, it goes hand in hand with the hormones and then also the female body as well. Hopefully that helps. Let's keep going. Sunny, welcome back. Hi again, Carnivore Angels. Is there any liver supplement? Not my fave, raw. Before tested, I had been really weak and felt very faint. High ketosis, the fat's just melting off. Okay, good. So, what do you guys recommend for liver supplements?
There's the ancestral supplements. I have to say, eating it raw, frozen, cutting it into pill-shaped pieces, that's gonna be the most nutritious and really give you it's also way more cost effective. Like you can buy a whole entire liver that will last you like months, uh, for a few dollars, whereas a bottle of liver supplements is very expensive. I don't know how much it is, but it's like what, 60, $40, something like that.
Yeah.
So,
Too expensive.
but yeah, grass-fed beef liver from a trustworthy brand, check the reviews. That's second best option.
Yeah. And Sonny, can I just say that if you take that liver and cut it into little tiny pieces and freeze it, I do that. I cut it, I freeze it on parchment paper. I take it out after it's frozen, kind of bang it around so the pieces mostly break off, put them in a Ziploc and put them in my freezer. I take them out, you pop them in your mouth with a drink of water, you never even taste it. And it's instant energy and it definitely will help with your iron. But trust Alyssa on this because, and me, when we say it's so much better to do it raw. And when they're frozen in those little pieces, you're not even going to notice. I take them all the time that way now, and I never taste it.
And then I just remembered, Grassland Nutrition, they're based in Australia. They have dehydrated liver. So I link that in the chat if you guys want to check it out. It's just dehydrated grass-fed liver. All right. Okay, Miriam, does carnivore help with Raynaud? Yes, it does. And I say yes confidently because we've had members report that it is healing and it's getting better. Yes, it can. Huron, welcome. How long does it take for sleep to improve during early adaptation? I'm only sleeping about 6 to 7 hours, waking up not rested. Who wants to take this? I never struggled with sleep, so.
I mean, first of all, I'm jealous when you said only 6 or 7 hours.
Me too. Only?
Right. But I do wake up rested, even, in 5 hours, sometimes 4 hours. And so that's something that I just had to adjust. And I'm not saying that that's perfect, but also as my hormones continue to heal, I do sleep better and I do sleep longer. But still, I would pay money to get 7 hours and stay asleep for 7 hours. So I don't know. I feel like some of it is you got to just heal up, but I feel like some of it too, you might, I don't know. I just have more energy, and I certainly don't feel like I'm missing sleep when I get 5 or 6 good hours in and wake up rested. But the not waking up rested, I wonder if you have something else going on. What do you think, Alyssa?
Yeah, those early adaptation days they're really tough. I mean, I would just encourage you, number one, add some salt to your water and make sure that you have more than enough salt as your body goes through this shift from carbs to no carbs. And then also, you're going to also have to get your energy from fat instead of carbs. So before bed, take some, whether it's a little bit of butter or some tallow, eat some fat before bed. And then if you wake up in the night, have a little bit of fat. This can really help you sleep.
Perfect. All right, Sunny, thank you for all these stickers. Thank you, Carnivore Angels. Wow. I will try freezing the liver and tricking myself to swallow it. XOXO, I'm going to join the group. Yay! Okay.
Yay,
Yeah,
Sunny.
welcome you
Can't
in.
wait to meet you.
Thanks, Sunny. Yes.
Yeah,
Good
definitely
luck.
say hi to us in open chat.
Yeah. Oh, let me just quickly address Todd. I see Artful Jade say that the link for free SPG goes to the paid version. I wonder if maybe the admin side changed things up. So if you guys just email sbgchallenge@gmail.com and ask for the free link and reference today's live stream, I'll make sure that the team gives you that correct free link. Okay? The email's in there. Just email. Thank you. Kelly, any tips on doing carnivore with an egg allergy? So many tips. It's so very possible. In fact, Coach Alyssa does it and lives it. What are your tips?
Yep. Yeah, don't eat eggs. No problemo. I thought in the beginning that I needed eggs because I'm like, oh no, I'm missing out on selenium and folate. But guess what? Liver has more than enough of folate and selenium and all of the B vitamins, all of the fat soluble vitamins. So you don't have to eat eggs. I'm almost 2 years of very strict lion diet, which is just ruminant meat, salt, and water. And I am doing better and better. I continue to get better every single day. I'm overcoming lupus without any medication. Yes, you can do it. It's easy. Just don't eat the eggs.
Absolutely.
Amazing. Ooh. Wait, wait, that's who I think it is, right?
Yes, it
Oh,
is.
oh my God. Hello, Destiny. Wow, I miss you. Oh my gosh, I hope you're doing well. Is it a myth that if you eat too much protein in one sitting, your body cannot absorb it and you'll then store it as fat? What does actually happen if you eat more than your body needs in one sitting? Oh my gosh. Can I take this first? I would love to.
Yeah. I
Okay.
don't think she wants to hear it from me.
Oh. All right. Well, 7 years ago, when I first started a carnivore diet, I could not stop eating meat. I was eating 5 pounds of meat a day. So, any expert who talks about insulin and teaches whatever, like insulin and healing and ketogenic experts included, they would tell me, "Oh my god, you're eating way too much meat. Oh my god, Bella, you're eating way too much fat. Oh my goodness, you're probably going through gluconeogenesis right now." But do you know what trumps all of that? The need to heal. Because my body needed to heal so desperately, and I was so starving and hungry for the meat and the fat, because I allowed myself to just eat for the first time in my life, I achieved all the healing that I wanted and so much more. I achieved my dream body. Heck, I could say that confidently today. I achieved my dream skin. I didn't think I would never not have a pizza face. What does pizza face mean? Cystic acne all over your face. I struggled with that my entire teenage and young adult life. So, just for young women specifically, I'm very passionate about just telling those who are struggling with not losing the weight they want, not having clear skin, not having thick, shiny hair, you gotta eat. You're not gonna get there restricting and eating toddler portions. I'm not saying this applies to you, Destiny. I'm just taking this beautiful question to apply to the general audience. But Laura, did you want to tackle this?
Let me read this really quickly again. I'm not the expert on what happens if you eat more than your body needs, but I feel that when you're eating this kind of a diet, you your body kind of intuitively tells you how much you need. Definitely. You can't really overeat on this. At least I have not experienced that. And with most people, I know that eat the carnivore way, they also don't experience that. Your body is able to take in, and I can eat a pretty big steak myself, sit there in one portion and eat that. But I never feel stuffed. I never feel like I've overeaten. But maybe the next day I only want 6 ounces, but I just had a 28-ounce one 2 days ago. So I truly don't think you can overeat on this. It's the best I can
Yeah,
say.
you won't know until you experience it. And then that last question, what actually happens if you eat more than your body needs in one sitting? If you're adapted on a carnivore diet, it turns into energy. And so that's personally what I've been feeling. If I eat a lot in one day, I just burn it off because I move more. I want to do more. I want to walk outside in nature a little bit longer with my dogs. It's just this beautiful cycle. Did I do okay,
Mhm.
Alyssa?
Yep.
Yeah. And Todd?
Yeah,
Wonderful.
I would definitely agree. You know, this is the argument I'm having with every person that keeps talking to me about calories and about calorie restriction. And healing and having energy is so much more important in the long run than trying to manipulate through calorie restriction because, uh,
Yep.
we're constantly in this sick fight or flight mode when we're restricting. And in the long run, it's our body's trying to hold on to everything. So, I just been thinking about this so much more this last about 5 or 6 weeks because I've never had this much energy and this much stamina and worked out as much. And in the long run, that's what's making all my cells a lot healthier. And that's what's getting me a lot leaner. And I never felt this, even when I was lighter than I am right now from calorie restrictive diets. I've never had this much strength and energy as I do now. And so it's a staunch difference. And the difference is the composition is totally different because I'm not starving. So my body's not trying to hold on to all this fat around my midsection and it's not worried about it. So on the days that I did overeat, and because there probably is for a very short term something equivalent to that in a short period, but it just turns into energy and you burn it off so much faster than that stubborn fat that you hold on to when your body's constantly in a stressed state all the time. So, whatever a little bit it stores for a short period of time as energy, it also releases it so much quicker when you're when you're out of the fight or flight mode because you're satiated and healed and you have plenty of real nourishment. It's crazy the difference. It's day and night.
Mhm.
All right.
Oh,
Beautifully
Bella,
said.
you're muted. Okay,
Yeah,
sorry.
sorry. Thank you. All right, Nina, welcome. Will it heal chronic venous insufficiency? Hey, doesn't Phil talk about this all the time? The chronic venous insufficiency. Yeah. Ganglion, cyst, retinopathy, macular edema. I eat OMAD, still cannot lose weight, diabetic type 2, daily fasting, and ranges 125 and under. Um, I feel like there's a lot of hope with healing all of those things with carnivore. Again, these chronic illnesses, I mean, I've seen it before in the steak and butter gang, and I've also seen it coupled with it improving. Alyssa, did you want to add?
Yeah, I mean, I think the answer lies right here on that second sentence that we've seen a million times before. I eat OMAD and still can't lose weight. And the answer to that is going to be the answer to healing your venous insufficiency, your cyst, your retinopathy, edema, everything. So you need to eat more fatty red meat, point blank, period. Just
Mhm.
avoid the carbs at all cost. Even some of the carnivore carbs, like dairy, can hold you back. Sometimes when you're trying to heal something like this, you want to get your glucose down, your insulin down. So I would encourage you, instead of doing OMADs, to just, first of all, if you can come join SBG, I would love it if you could do some priming. We have seen so many diabetics, type 1 and type 2, lowering their blood sugars, reversing diabetes, like I used to be diabetic as well. So hopefully you can come and join us. And if not, just start with eating 3 meals a day and come back and check in and let us know how you're doing, please.
Thank you, Alyssa. Perfect. Nareen, hello. Been carnivore 42 days, struggling with constipation even after increasing fats. Help, please. Up the fats even more. And if that still doesn't work, really up the salts. Okay? Keep us posted. T-Pain, welcome. Week 7, sometimes sluggish after meals. Anything to do for energy boost, Todd?
Yeah, I mean, sleep. To be honest with you, when I was first doing this, and because you're only on week 7, your body wants to heal, and the reason why you're kind of sluggish is because your body's actually trying to put you to sleep. So it sounds crazy, and I know what you mean because I used to think, oh, this is a bad thing. But at that beginning, when you're healing and you're putting all those building blocks in there, your body needs to heal up. And so the best thing for feeling sluggish and a little tired is take a nap. And I know it sounds ridiculous, but that's the quickest way through it. And every time I'd wake up, I would literally see, lymphedema fluid like run from my legs, like heal up in that nap. It was crazy how much healing would happen when my body was trying to get me to rest like that. And if I'd listen, so I'd take a nap, I would keep leaning into that. That's just one of the things that happens at first, but that will soon turn to energy.
Nice. Love it. All right, Luke, what should my protein to fat ratio be to maintain lower body fat after dry fasting? Wow, that's a lot of modalities. Manipulating protein to fat and dry fasting for fat loss. I mean, I'm just concerned and I'm worried because we see people really going far with the fasting and then lowering the fat and then combining it and crashing, losing the hair, no energy. The weight loss is not even happening. I would just really make sure you're eating enough. Okay. Breaking a dry fast. Raymond is not here, but what do we think?
I've been on a few dry fasts. I do like them. They're easier and they're for a very specific thing. And losing fat is not the thing. They're for healing. They're for, healing up oxidated tissues and, zombie proteins and those things, but it's not for losing fat. That is the wrong way to go about losing fat. You can lean up a little bit, but if you're sitting there trying to hold on to it, which sounds like you're trying to do, the real way to lose fat, which is not the fastest way, but it is the consistent, permanent way, and that is to heal your metabolism and make your body function way higher and put out more ATP production. And you're going to have a lot more energy and you're going to burn a lot more fat and you're going to be leaner. And it takes a lot of fat to heal that system. It takes a lot of fat to heal your endocrine system. So for me, the more fat that I eat, the higher my metabolism functions, and the more my ATP production increases, and the more energy I have, and the more muscle I build, and the more composition and lean tissue I grow. So I think it should be 1.5 to 1 minimum, if not more. And unless you're trying to heal something very specific, I would not concentrate on the dry fasting, and I wouldn't do any of the fasting unless you've primed first, because you're probably just murdering your metabolism right now. So that's my 2 cents.
Thank you, Todd. That's awesome. Very good. All right, happiness. I've been on the carnivore diet for less than a year, and since October, I've been hungrier, more tired, and losing more hair. Is that normal as winter comes? No, it's not normal.
Mm.
But wait, we're not trying to freak you out. We want to help you, obviously. It's not because that it's winter. It's most likely because that you're busier during back to school season. It's winter, holidays are coming, and suddenly you're under eating and you don't even know it. Or maybe you've been under eating for a period of time now, and the hair loss is happening weeks later. Alyssa, what are your thoughts?
Mm. Yeah, definitely. It's, like we've talked about before, the telogen effluvium, which can happen up to 4 months after a stressful event. Now, was that stressful event that you were under eating? Could be. So, I would say definitely check in, make sure you're eating enough. And by enough, I mean really check in, like we've talked about. If you need to, do some priming, or at least just make sure you're eating 3 meals a day, don't be afraid to eat more. But your body should be not losing any hair. If you're definitely getting enough, think back to about 4 months ago. What were you going through? Were you under eating? Did you have a stressful event in life happen? Just take good care of yourself. But no, we are not dogs or cats where we shed our winter coat and, it's not normal. So please check in with
Yeah,
yourself and make sure you're eating enough.
amazing. And then I do see
Oops,
this,
oops,
if you
sorry.
don't mind.
There we go.
So I see this from JRT. Thank you for this angle. Hair loss could be thyroid as well. It could be a symptom of hyperthyroid or hypothyroid and thyroid problems. So I do agree that Dr. Bright could actually help you there. And if you don't even know if you're hypothyroid, hyperthyroid, your adrenals are shot, then I just want you guys to know that Dr. Bright is offering lab work analysis in a group setting. So I'll just drop the link in the chat. It's also in the description if you guys feel like you need that type of help. Okay, now we can keep going.
Right.
All right, we did this one.
Oh, excuse me.
Go. Okay, what's your advice for a new to carnivore person to ease the transition? I did it overnight, vegan to carnivore. So definitely don't do that. And I'm very glad you're asking about the transition. So you certainly did your research. Very good job. Do it within 30 days. Like set a little calendar timeline. Week 1, I'm cutting out all of the vegetables. Week 2, I'm cutting out all of the fruits. Week 3, I'm cutting out all of the junk foods. Just make a plan that you are comfortable with and just do it gradually. There's no one size fits all to do the perfect type of transition. It's just whatever fits in your lifestyle, your busy schedule, and your goals and your timeline. Okay, so 1 week at a time. Keep us posted. You can do it. Welcome, Rob. 59, male, keto, then carnivore for 3.5 years. I find that eating later in the day, anytime after 4 to 5 p.m., causes me to stall or gain weight. Has anybody else experienced this? Do you want to take this, Todd?
Sure. Eating later in the day, anytime after 4 p.m. causes me. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think that does happen. It makes me also not sleep is very good. I don't eat past about 3 o'clock, and I usually go to bed, which I know some people will eat right before they go to bed and it makes them sleep good. I am not that dude. Like if I if I eat before bed, I'm not going to sleep all night. And yeah, it absolutely does cause a stall. And I'm not sure why. I think it's really just because it wrecks my sleep, honestly. But yeah, I mean that's not uncommon. And I think it's because it runs with insulin resistance, right? Because the best like 2 med plan or eating window for insulin resistance, they say is like breakfast, lunch, if you're going to skip a meal and not to eat dinner. So I generally eat 2 meds now, and I definitely don't eat past 3 o'clock because it ruins me. So, and I definitely will stall. So just,
Awesome.
I don't know, something about our makeup, I reckon.
Yeah.
Maybe. Okay, and the last question we'll take tonight. Can a healthy person just eat meat? Interesting question.
Alyssa, would you like to take this one?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, meat is the most nutrient dense thing you could possibly eat. So, is there anything better you could think of, like that you could eat on the planet? Absolutely not. Ruminant meat beats them all. So, a healthy person can absolutely just eat meat and get even healthier.
She's
love
living
that.
proof,
100%.
as are many of the people in our community that are doing Lion or have done Lion and have healed so
Yeah.
many issues. So
I can't answer
Choose
that just eating carbs and being healthy doesn't work. So I know that's not a thing. So I
we
think,
Yeah.
can all vouch for that one.
right.
Yeah. Well, that's all the questions we have time for tonight. Please know we do these live streams every week. So if you're new to the channel, Todd's channel, we repeat this every week. So do come back, keep us posted, keep learning, stay curious, keep asking those fantastic questions, and we'll see you next week. Thank you guys so
See you guys.
much.
Good night,
Oh, yeah.
all.
Good
Bye.
night. Have a great weekend.